Yo, what's good everybody? It's Brandon back again. This is really weird to sit and film because I'm really slouched down on my couch. And I'm chilling here with Howard. Howard's kind of an asshole. See, now he wants to get on my face, Howard. You motherfucker. There's Mako over there. That's the nice leather chair that Howard decided that fit his macros earlier in the week. What did you do? But anyways, I'm sitting here on my couch downstairs. Howard's gonna be an asshole and get in my face. Go sit down. Go get me a sandwich. Go get me a sandwich. Go get me a sandwich. But anyways, you guys have been asking about my camera that I use for the majority of my videos. So what I'm gonna try to do is I'm gonna start doing some more reviews on this channel. I'm not sure if you guys are necessarily interested in seeing that. I know a lot of you guys have asked camera reviews, but I can probably do some other in-depth reviews, or not totally in-depth, maybe only a couple minutes on things like the iPod that I use, the armbands that I use, some of the gym equipment I use, as well as some of the accessories here I have for my camera. I'm gonna go over these basic ones today. Again, this isn't gonna get anything too in-depth. I don't think a lot of you guys are looking for an overly in-depth review, and if you are, there's already plenty on YouTube. I'm just gonna give you my opinion on these as far as using them for what I use them for. And I use several cameras, but this is the one that I use in the most case, the filming that I do in my house. So the camera itself is a Canon T3i. However, there is a newer version out called the T4i. I think that has an autofocus in video mode, whereas this one does not. So what that means is you have to set the focus point before you start filming if you have autofocus. So I will say that I film all of this by myself. I don't have somebody filming for me. And I think the dogs heard somebody outside. Oh my God. Anyway, so I don't have someone filming for me, so I have to set the focus myself, which can be a big pain in the ass because only moving back and forth and with this actual lens that I have, which I'll mention in a minute, it kind of becomes a big pain in the ass. So it's something I've been working on. You'll probably notice when I first got this camera, a lot of my videos were a little bit out of focus. I've come up with a way to make it in focus, hopefully most cases. I'll probably show that in another video as well, but just give you an idea. So again, a Canon T3i is what I have. The lens itself that I'm using, let's see if I can find where it says which lens it is. It's the 50mm lens. It's also called the Nifty 50. It's one of the cheaper lenses you can buy. I think it costs around $100. There's other lenses out there that are similar but are more expensive. But however, for the purposes of what I'm using this for, this one fits my needs perfectly. And again, I'm not really big into video production. This was one that was recommended to me by Josh over at Janato's Lion. So shout out to you, man. I appreciate the help on this. You can buy this camera with a kit lens, it's called. Again, I don't want to get too into this only because if you're really that interested in the camera itself as far as all the features of it, you should probably just look it up to someone who's doing a more in-depth review. So just going on the back, one of the reasons I got this over the T2i is because the T3i and the T4i has this as well, where you can flip out the viewfinder on the back, make it face yourself. So if you are filming by yourself, you can use this to see exactly what you're filming a little bit easier. Again, not going to really go too much into what's on here. I will say that I do have a hood on here too. So this black piece that you're seeing right here, this was something I bought to kind of help with this, keep the light out, keep the dust out a little bit as well. As far as cost goes, so when I bought this from Amazon, obviously, because I buy everything from Amazon, but I bought the camera itself initially as well as the lens. So if you just buy the camera body, it's cheaper than if you were to buy it obviously with the kit lens. However, I wanted this lens particularly because I like the way you can make the film look. So you'll notice a lot of times I can have a very shallow depth of field where I'm in focus and the background is completely out of focus. It has its pros and cons. For me, for set shooting like I do, it's very easy to set up. However, if you're gonna do something on the move, it's probably not the best lens for you. So to get this body and this actual lens that I got, I bought them together. I want to say, I'm trying to think right now, cost me about $670 for the two of them. Now, obviously, you can probably get better deals now as I've had this for quite a while, and mentioning now also that the T4i is out, which means this body probably went down in price. The majority of I shouldn't say the majority, about half of which this camera I paid for with the money I made from my Spreadshirt site. So right when I started making shirts through Spreadshirt was when I started saving for this camera. Again, very expensive, obviously, costing me close to $700 for the camera. So these two were the first two things that I bought. From there, one of the things that you might have noticed when I first started doing videos with this is the onboard microphone on this thing sucks. Let's see if I can find it. So you can probably just see it right there, those little dots. I believe that's the microphone itself. So it doesn't really do a good job of picking anything up. If you were to watch a video that you filmed with just the onboard mic, it's very, I would say, tinny sounding, if that makes sense to people, and it just doesn't sound very good overall. So my first actual purchase after getting this, which was probably about a month or so later, was this Rode video mic. So you can see this external microphone that I have here. I'm sorry if the lighting is not so good, but hopefully you guys can see that. So this is just the video mic. They came out with a newer edition of this too. The list price, what I paid for this, I think was $130. It might have been $140, but it's pretty nice. It makes the sound on these so much better. It's also got some rubber bands and stuff on here. Some people, when they saw this, when I posted a picture right before, they asked what those things were. That's so in case you're moving the camera around or doing anything, the microphone doesn't bump or rub against how it's mounted, and it doesn't add any external noise into it. And you can see the microphone itself is just plugged in here. It does have an external mic jack as well. So this is what I use for my sound. There's a lot of other options. Some people like to use like a lapel type mic. There's also other mics out there that I've seen pretty popular. I just wanted to get this one because it was somewhat simple and kind of affordable based off what's going on. So that was my other purchase. From there, the next thing I bought was this hood for the camera. I just think it makes it look a little bit better because it makes it look a little bigger as I stutter over my words, getting nervous talking about the size of things and how size matters. But this lens itself is pretty short. I think this just looks a little bit better. It only costs like $4, so I figured why not. From there, what I bought was I bought a light source as well as this 3 hot mount kind of adapter, because typically you only have one mount on top of this camera, and at the time I was using that simply for my microphone, and I was using an external light source, so I'd have a set of like halogen lights somewhere else in the room or turn on other lights to try to get a good brightness going on. And lighting is something that's really important for these videos, as you can probably tell with the low quality of light in this video itself. As Howard's sitting behind me now. What are you doing? Where's my sandwich? No, sandwiches aren't outside. So sorry about that, getting back. So I wanted to make this easier because I was using this lighting setup that took kind of a little while to set up and get in place, and it was just a pain in the butt, and I'm all about efficiency. So what I bought is one of these LED lights. And on here, you can kind of see right now, Howard, stop being an asshole. You can see right now I do have a diffuser on here. So this is like an orange diffuser. When you buy this set of lights, let's see if I have it on me. It actually comes with a couple different ones. It comes with this little notebook, and you have a white diffuser as well as a pink one. So I've been using this one. Hopefully it makes me look a little bit more tan. But I play around with these. I just got this recently, so it's just something I'm starting to play around with. But you have the light itself, and I'll turn this on, and I'm sure it's going to drown you guys out in a little bit. But this light is night because one of the things that it does have also is it has kind of a self-adjuster dimmer on the side. I don't know if you can see that, but it's right here. So that way, depending on your lighting situation, you can turn up the intensity of this light or not, and this thing gets really bright. Let me put this back on and not break this. So that's on. On the back of this thing, one of the other things I bought, again, probably a little bit hard to see, but I'll throw links to all this stuff I'm showing you. I have one of these Sony, it's like a camera battery, but this actual light can use it as well. Otherwise, it takes 6 AA's. And even though LEDs don't pull a lot of power or juice, I just wanted to go ahead and get this battery because, again, it was fairly cheap. I think the battery is like $1.97. So now I have this 3 mount, so I have the lights, I have the microphone, I have one more spot if there's anything else that I would want to get on here. Some people like external monitors and all this other stuff, but it's not really for me. So that's pretty much my camera. Then you can see that I have a tripod on here as well. I recently got 2 new tripods. It came with 2 in the package for a somewhat decent price, again on Amazon. This is a smaller one that I use a lot of times in my room. It actually is extendable. I don't know how many inches it actually is, but my other one I think is like 65 or 70 inches, so it's a lot taller. So I wouldn't have to put it on like a table or something like that like I do with this one. Now, as far as the actual camera goes, I'm going to give you some feelings on it, although this video is kind of dragging on a little bit. So if you don't really care about this camera, I don't know why you'd watch anyway, but a lot of you guys have asked for this. So as far as this goes, my recommendation, I think it's a great camera as far as video purposes go. I will say that I don't use it for photography. I hardly take any pictures. as is, even with the small little cameras. I mean, for me, my phone is sufficient enough. This can take some really great pictures though, if you put the time and effort in learning how to do all the manual adjustments and set stuff up and all the different lenses. These lenses in some cases can get really expensive. You could buy a lens that costs several $1,000s, so it can get pretty pricey. I'll try to throw up some pictures of Howard and Mako that we took the other day. But as far as this goes from a standpoint of me suggesting it to people, if you're not 100% vested into YouTube, I know a lot of people kind of get the idea they want to start making videos, and it's a great thing to do. I highly encourage you guys to make videos if you want to do it. But one of the issues is that oftentimes people kind of run out of steam and they stop making videos. So with that, I don't think this would be a very good investment for most people out there, as again, it's fairly expensive. And if you're just looking to film in the gym or something like that, this isn't very convenient. So I do not bring this into the gym because it's big and bulky as fuck, and it would look really, really weird. So one of the reasons I like bringing in smaller cameras is they're very easy to carry around, not to mention it's very inconspicuous, and you don't look like a total herb filming yourself, squatting, and all that other good stuff. But as far as the quality goes, you can't really beat this. This is great quality. I would highly suggest this if you're really into video making or anything like that, or if you're also, that's my weird accent coming through, but if you're also interested in taking pictures, this could be a great thing to do. However, again, if you're just starting out, I would probably suggest one of the other cameras that I'll show you in a later video. But again, a lot of you guys asked, so I hope this answers some questions. If there isn't anything specific that I answered in here, let me know in the comment section below, and I can probably try to do a follow-up. But there you go. That's my Canon T3i, and this is my main camera for this channel. So I appreciate you guys watching. Thanks as always. And if you can, stay big and don't eat chairs like, well, Mako doesn't eat chairs, but this dude eats chairs. Don't eat my chair. So we'll talk to you guys soon. Have a good one. Have a good weekend. And I said it already, but stay big again. You can never stay big enough. Later.